Hi. So in this video, I'm going to be ranking my first 100 Extreme Demons I've completed. It's been over 2 years since I beat my first Extreme Demon, Cataclysm, and since then I've completed another 99, which some of them I've had some strong opinions about. Something to note is that there will not be any weighted averages for the levels, just my raw, unfiltered opinion. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I had with making this. If you know me at all, you will know I am very vocal about how much I hate Ithacropolis. This has been my worst experience by far, and of course a loud reaction to go along with it. This level pushed me to the absolute brink, and I dropped it probably about 3 times. The hardest parts were just the first wave and a few dumbass clicks scattered throughout it. Do not play this level if you want to keep your sanity in check. The Flawless feels like one of those levels that gets consistent in a bad way. The level's gameplay is so terrible, and some of the gaps are bloodbath difficulty, I cannot lie. The ending, while chokeable, isn't necessarily too bad, but it can get annoying from runs for sure. The reason it's so low is that I got 80 in the first 20 minutes of playing from zero, and then couldn't beat it for another week. That cannot be ignored. Truly just a ship level done terribly. This level is probably one of the worst things that has ever happened to me. I'm not going to go into details, but I got in a pretty bad accident that left me in surgery the next day. For some reason, I can never have a good experience with Scylla's levels. Azerite truly left me with a horrid experience that I will, unfortunately, never forget. One of the only Extreme Demons I've beaten with the song entirely muted. This song was the sole reason I didn't like this level, but after learning it, I can say that the gameplay is just as worse. I beat the original Ado after beating this a few weeks ago, and I can confidently say that I will never be playing anything similar to this ever again. Oh my god, I hate unbalanced levels. The first 60% is a literal hard demon, and then the last 40% is like top 700 gameplay that just doesn't get consistent, that can really turn people off from this level. This level is basically just a bunch of frustrating gameplay that just doesn't get consistent, unless you're Jesus himself or something. The other Extreme Demon that I've completed with the song muted, it's one of those songs where it's just an ear sore and the lyrical part just sounds so swayed and heavy that it just makes out for something not nice to listen to. The deco is so bright and the gameplay is so unoriginal that I just don't want to play that level or think about it ever, which sucks because Jenkins makes some pretty good levels regardless. 3 words. 2.0 wave bullshit. As I said with Deception Dive, unbalanced levels are so annoying. Having the first 50% be actually pretty fun outside of a few terrible clicks and some dumbass hitboxes, and then immediately being thrown into a random ass hard wave with already pre-built nerves makes up for such a garbage experience. Dying past a wave is also so demotivating. Steer clear of this level if you don't like bashing your head into a brick wall for like 3 hours straight. Do I think it's bad? Not entirely. I just think it's so unbelievably generic and boring. The boss fight sucks ass, with the lasers sometimes killing you for no apparent reason. I'm glad we fluked this, because dying repeatedly in 2-play extremes just makes you hate the level, and the person you're beating with it, not really though. This level is so unbelievably frustrating. The first 30% being not too bad, but having dumb clicks makes for the drop to take so long to get to. The UFO and the ship literally last like 30% of the level each, and the ending being so stressful because you passed all the stupid stuff is just not good. I'm glad we don't have any more stalemate based levels because I would not like them. Basically just Misty Mountains that looks better and has no drop. The only reason it's higher is because it's shorter, thus making it slightly more enjoyable. I also have a knack for just really weird timings that are satisfying nonetheless. It's not horrid, but I wouldn't really recommend it. The worst level in the Apocalyptic Trilogy, but the best part of the song. The gameplay isn't admittedly bad, but it can only be said about the second half. The first half is so terrible, especially the long ship parts towards the 50%. Xanity has never made a fun ship part that I've played, but I'm not that reliable with anything, so take that with a great assault. Probably one of the most boring levels I've beaten. Nothing special at all about this level to me, just some really boring gameplay that I never found fun. I don't know. I honestly don't have anything to say about this level except every day I played it just felt like an hour of my life I'll never get back. My first Extreme Demon, and in my opinion, this level prepares you more for harder and more raw Extreme Demons more efficiently than something like Aku does. The thing with doing Cataclysm first is there's more ship and there's more wave, which I get Aku has that as well, but Cataclysm has more ship parts that are similar to other hard Extreme Demons like Bloodbath or Blade of Justice, etc. I don't know. I think Cataclysm honestly just has more aura to doing it as a first extreme, but that is completely biased. Just Dance is one of those levels that is really unbalanced. See, the first 60% is Insane Demon slash almost Extreme Demon gameplay, but not entirely. And then you get thrusted into the worst symmetrical duel you have ever played. Seriously, some of the clicks they belong in like an extreme tier. It's just weird. The song being used in, well, a lot of extremes that I've played, or a lot of levels that I've played, just doesn't make it special, piled on top of the fact I've never really liked the song to begin with. I don't know. It's just not a special level to me, and I don't think it ever will be. Bass Gang is nowhere similar to Bang Gang, but I honestly find it almost just as boring. It's admittedly more fun because it's made by a creator who makes fun two-player levels, but the thing about that is that they're meant to be played solo. So doing it with someone makes it a lot less fun, especially when your part is really, really easy. The thing about Bass Gang is that there is a boss, and the boss, you can have the Bass Cave Extreme Demon face. There's a way to turn that on, which literally just saving graces the whole level for it being lower on this list. It is fun, but not if you're playing it with someone. Do I think this opinion is unpopular? Yes. Do I care? No. This level is very, very boring. This level tries very hard to click with the music, to sync with the music, and it falls flat. The UFO part doesn't sync at all. The ball is off sync, but only by that little bit to where it's noticeable. And then the ball at the ending has some stupid clicks, especially the last one, which I'm surprised I didn't die to. I've also never really liked spider gameplay, so beating a level that has like 40% of the level being spider gameplay probably wasn't a good idea. Oh man, the level that kickstarted the Extreme Demon Alphabet. Allegiance was not a level I was too inclined to play originally, but ended up doing it because I did not want to do Ancestral Calamity. I wish I just counted on Ahida as my letter A, but here we are. I've said multiple times that if I didn't fluke this, I probably wouldn't have beaten this for a while. Codependence is one of the two-player levels of all time. What makes this level so low on my enjoyment list is that my friend died to a bug at 97%, and I, for some reason, got a skill debuff, and it was just terrible. We dropped this and came back to it like 100 times over until eventually we beat it. Was it worth it? Yes. Do I wish we just did Beeline? Also yes. Probably one of my worst Extreme Demon Alphabet experiences, and that can solely be related to the progress fluke of 28% all the way to 70%. I got so unlucky dying to 92% twice. I am so happy I didn't die to the last Straight Fly, because if for some reason it's harder than Bold Step Straight Fly, I don't know what they were thinking with that one, but oh well. I can understand why people think Cupid is a really good level. On the outside, it looks really fun and enjoyable and you want to play it. And then you start playing it. There are admittedly some fun parts, like the start of the drop is really good, and like the second half, there's parts in the second half, but there are some major choke points. Most of the wave parts are a little bit harder than the rest of the gameplay because it's a Zeronian verification and that's what everyone expects. There's also a couple dumb clicks. There's a start pause bug, which means you can not really practice the level, because swear to God, I did not find a single start pause that did not have that bug. And of course, we have to talk about the ending. It is so much harder than the rest of the level. I don't even understand how people fluke that. It's the same thing with Beetlejuice. It looks so fun, and then you play it and you're like, what is this? There's two bugs in this level, one being at the beginning of the level with a ball transition portal that I had to bug fix, the other one being with a wave portal clipping through a robot portal. Tell me how that works. The wave parts in this level are admittedly as stupid, but the ship parts make up for it. And of course, the ending, while being easy, is really stressful, especially those Zafkiel clicks they just throw at you. I don't know, they don't even sync with the music. I don't understand why they added those. Just steer away from this, it's not a good level. My second Extreme Demon. It's admittedly, again, not terrible, and probably the closest thing I've completed to a memory level at this point. But it's got some flaws. That ship part at 60 or whatever percent is just really bad. And the ball at the end is the hardest part by far. It is so hard. I don't understand how this was, like, right next to Cataclysm when I completed it. This, in my eyes, is, like, a noticeably amount harder. I'm so confused. In my opinion, this is the most funny Extreme I've completed. This level wasn't even meant to be rated, so I can't judge it too poorly, but I can definitely still judge it. Some of the timings are inexcusable, and originally this actually was buffed, and it was a lot harder. I played that buffed version. Some of the clicks that I struggled with were even harder, and that ending is not easy. Those blind clicks you have to do at the very, very end just don't work at all. I wish I fluked that so I could raise this a little higher, but I don't fluke impossible last clicks. I was way too generous with the Thanatos last time. I still like the level, and it being this low does not mean I dislike it. I just have that many levels I like above it now. A Thanatos, to me, has fallen off. That dual wave part at 60% or 72% is so hard. Once you pass it, you have, like, in my eyes, a 75% chance of beating the level, but with nerves, you can definitely choke. The pre-drop, the first 50% even, is the hardest part. That ship part they throw at you is inexcusable. It's just, I know it's not a good level, I will always like it though. Alright, I'll say it. This level's always been a guilty pleasure of mine. Infernal Abyss has just always been a level I've always wanted to complete it, and then I did. I can say I was wrong when I thought this level was better than Bloodbath. The gameplay, while being a little more fun, is also that same amount just not functional. That UFO at 60% doesn't work, I'm so convinced. I'm so happy I fluked the one at 80 though, because those two clicks are silent. The free drop is relatively easy, except for the ball, and then the ship part right before the second half is pretty hard. Overall, it's not terrible, I just don't think it's anything special anymore. I know this level can be considered bad, but then I beat Necropolis. It is so much better. Like, everything flows so well. The memory parts are actually really satisfying to pull off. Just the ball part, the really fast ball part in the middle is a little bit harder than the rest of the level, and the corridor part's always going to be really hard. But other than that, it's a really well-rounded level. You can see that I'm actually talking positive about a level that's this low, because I just have beaten that many levels that I genuinely think I just really like. A former hardest of mine, and again, I was way too generous on it. I realize now that Echo is not as good as I thought out to be. Accu is definitely better. The only thing that I still like Echo, because of that, like that slope, deserty part, almost, throughout the middle, it's really good, it's really fun. There is some gameplay that I find really enjoyable, and I guarantee you, if I died to the ending, I would have lowered this a lot. But I did fluke it, so I'm inclined to like this level. Pretty much all my hardest, except the one, is just, they'll always be good. Alright, the thing about this level is I don't hate it. I know a lot of people do. Literally, my entire friend group hates it, except Lightbulb. It's just not that bad. That robot slope part at the beginning does get consistent. I will say though, the first 40% is harder than the rest of the level. Once you get past 40, you have like a 60% chance of beating the level. It's good, I just don't think it's as special as some of the other levels that are coming up. This level is kind of a nothing burger. It's this low because I just had a terrible time with it. I used to love this level. Ever since I saw Aeon Air beat this for his RNG Extreme Demon Alphabet, I've always been like, wow, I want to go for this. This level looks really cool. I also thought it was a Ren level, because I'm Ren carried. I like playing Ren levels. So, I went for it. And I kind of regret it. This level's not anything special. The wave parts aren't even the hardest part. There is a dumbass ending. You gotta remember that. My second hardest level at the time. Now it's number 10. What happened? This level is the epitome of a sequel just falling flat, of being better. Here's the thing about Jamboree, right? It is very unbalanced. The last wave. That last wave, right before the last cube. That's harder than the Shimmer last wave. I'm serious. On top of the bug, there is a bug with a dual portal. The rest of the level isn't too bad. I mean, getting to the drop and then dying to the first duel 700,000 times can definitely make you a little bit mad at the level. But overall, it's pretty solid. I just tainted by a horrible experience. All of my friends think this level is just boring. I never got that. I died to the last click twice, which was actually hilarious. I'm still shocked that I managed to pull that off. But this level isn't that boring. I mean, I get it's slow and it doesn't go above 2 times speed, but it's just a level that's really chill, really calm, and you can just relax while playing it. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. I've always had a soft spot for this level. I don't really know why. I think this is the most unknown extreme I've completed. Maybe. There's a couple other ones on here. This level is objectively fun, objectively pretty cool, and has good decoration. I agree with the decoration, everything else not really. I didn't have a great time with this level, especially since that was when I was right before going for Ethereal Artifice. Literally, it was my last extreme before I beat it, and I was like, man, I really want to beat this so I can beat Ethereal. It dragged on for so long that I was sick and tired of it, and then I beat it. And I was like, wow, I'm going to retain nothing from this. And I did. Retain nothing. Helios isn't bad. It's not bad, but it can get boring. The gameplay is pretty fun. You look at the parts, some of the parts are a little easier than others, and a couple of parts are a little harder than others. There are, I think, 3 duels, and they're all super learning, but once you learn them, they quickly become everyone's favorite part of the level, except that robot ball UFO, whichever one it was. Oh my god, I hate that one so much. Everything else, though, really good. I definitely recommend this level. I don't know if it's better than Broomtanic Paradise. Don't know. But for right now, I'm going to say it's worse. But keep an eye out for Ancestral Calamity. I will be beating that soon. Hey look, it's Broomtanic Paradise. Now this has fallen from grace since my very, very first ranking video. If none of my friends even knew me when I made that video for the first time, so I'll catch you guys up to speed. That was number 1. I mean, it was when I had 20 extremes, but it was number 1. It just wasn't, it's just not as good as I thought it was. It's still good. I can appreciate it now because of the Terraria Calamity mod, but it's still, like, it can definitely get boring. I can understand it being boring, because it genuinely was. But there are just, like, some parts, that part at 40% is harder than everything else, but there just are parts that, like, tie the whole level together. The decoration's really good, the song is really good, I don't know. I will always think that level is a good level. As of right now, this is the easiest Extreme Demon I've completed. And it makes sense. It is a click sync based Insane Demon almost. In my opinion, it is on the cusp. It is literally on the line, whether it is Extreme Demon or Insane Demon. In my opinion, it should stay Extreme Demon, but that can solely be attested to the pre-drop. The pre-drop is what carries it. There are some clicks in the pre-drop that probably are just, like, they're like, I want to say Necropolis difficulty. I don't know. I haven't played the level in a while. But it is very fun, it flows really well, the decoration's really good, and the song is really good. There's not much I can say about this level because I have, like, the least reliability when it comes to this level. But I would definitely recommend it. I would say it's very fun, and if as your first here it is, everybody's first extreme nowadays. I miss the days when everyone just did Cataclysm. But I can say this level is good. This level is good. Accu is just a perfect level if you just like flow levels. If you like and literally anything else, you do Cataclysm. But if you like flow levels, do Accu. It's really good. I will say, the thing that turned me off from doing Accu as my first extreme the first time is because I just didn't know how to learn levels right. I just went in there, did like 100 practice runs, I just thought I knew how to play the level. I can say though, after beating it, it is a good level. I respect everyone who does it as a first extreme, and yes, it is fun. And it is not worse than Echo. I don't know why I thought it was. So, AirTech is just a perfect flow extreme for beginners. I don't think that there's like a definitive hardest part, but I do think the waves are a little bit harder than the rest of the gameplay, but everything else just makes up for it. The duel is a lot better than Skytech. In my opinion, this level is just better than Skytech. I think that this level is done better, has a better part of the song. Maybe I'm jury's still out on that one. Whatever. Decoration's better. And I don't know, I've always just liked this level. I've always wanted to beat it. I almost fluked this from 36, I died at 95, and that will still be my most disappointing fail on a fluke ever. But definitely give this level a shot if you're into beginner extremes. If you are looking for a fast-paced, timing-based wave level that's basically a Ren level, but you don't like Ren, this is perfect. The creator of this, X Slendy, makes his levels is this very similar style. There is a level called Galaxy Gas that is a very similar level, very similar difficulty, all that. The wave parts are definitely harder than everything else, and some of the timings are a little stupid, but other than that, if you can look past it, it's pretty fun. The only thing that makes this level a little annoying to play is the song and the decoration. If the song and the decoration were just that little bit better, this level would be a lot higher and a lot more enjoyable to play from zero, but it does take it down a little bit. One of my first few two-player extremes, and in my opinion, this level is it's just so solid. I have a friend who has beaten this solo. I will always think that is impossible. I think he's God. Anyways, this level it's just one of those levels where you just want to play it. Like, you look at it, you see it for the first time, and you're like, I want to play this. And then you play it. I will say, though, doing this with a friend is really good. It's really fun, and you don't want to hate your friend afterwards. The only thing that could turn you off is the boss fight. Not like the very start of it, but like where 70 to 100 starts. That is the hardest part, in my opinion. Everything else, though, really fun. Would definitely recommend it. If you have a friend who likes to play two-player extremes, do this with him. It's really good. This level, I wanted to kill myself when I first started playing this level. I wanted to look at my wall, punch it a million times, put 3 holes in it, and then walk away. I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't. I died at 96 on this, and that was when I was like, huh, I'm probably going to be an unlucky player, aren't I? This level is not bad. I don't want this experience to taint my liking of this level too much. I have let some of the levels do that, i.e., the you-know-who. But this level it's very well-rounded. It is still a level, so I docked a little points from that, because, you know, I got really unlucky with Scylla's levels, but it is a good level. It can teach you really good wave and ship maneuvering, especially that dual unaligned ship. I don't know why it's unaligned. Like, you could just align it, but you just can't. But I definitely recommend this level early. It is definitely a very good level to do early. Another level that all my friends just find really boring and uneventful, and I will never see that. In my opinion, this is the second best of the Interface trilogy, and I think it's just one of the most relaxing extremes. I mean, again, the gameplay it can get boring, I can understand that, but most of it is pretty good. I think the main reason for me not hating this is because I fluked it from 60, but even then, this level is just a well-rounded extreme that I would definitely recommend as a second hardest. Not a hardest, but second hardest. Maybe after Bloodbath or something. A true hidden gem with extremes. This level is around Necropolis in difficulty, and the way that this level flows is just really well-rounded and just really good. The wave parts are not too unfair to the point where it's like, oh, what the hell? Why is this level so unbalanced? I would honestly say the hardest parts of this level is... I would say the ending, but there's a part in the drop that is really hard. The duels in this level flow really well. I never thought I'd say this, but the spiders in this level flow super well. I mean, the song is called Spider Dance, so... I wonder if I'm in the wrong for thinking a wave consistency level is better than a flow extreme. Whatever. This level is very, very fun. I didn't ever really think I would enjoy this. I was going to do Infernal Abyss for my letter I Extreme Demon Alphabet, but I rounded on this, and I'm honestly glad I did, because it unlocked just a new level for me that I never really thought was anything special. I did hear Technical really like this level, and I was like, huh, I want to give this level a shot, and I'm glad I did. It is very good. I do definitely recommend it. I will say the pre-drop is the hardest part, so... don't let that turn you off. The ending is also very chokeable, but it's still a good level. So, does anyone remember when this level was, like, above Ethereal Artifice on the Riddle and then got nuked to, like, the 1000s? That was a really funny time to be around, because this level was never that hard, I don't think. Unless there's a nerf day I don't know about. This level, it plays like it should be really hard, and then you play and you realize it is so consistent. That second half is so fun. The first half can get a little annoying because there are a couple clicks that kind of suck, and the moving objects kind of deeper on your vision a little bit, but it is still very solid, and I definitely recommend this level. The only thing is the ending, just over-practice it. Just over-practice it. It's very hard. This level uses the Requiem song, and I honestly think it does it very well. It is very unbalanced, very, very unbalanced. That ending wave and the ending shift is just a lot harder than the rest of the gameplay. That being said, it's worth playing. 1330X does ship really weird, but it is still really good. There are a couple, like, really weird clicks and really bullshit clicks halfway through the level, and then there's some really awkward timings, but most of, like, overall, it's pretty balanced. It's just the last wave and the last ship is just a huge choke point, but it does get consistent if you practice it enough. This level was one of those extremes where I thought it was like, dude, I thought it was like Sigma interface difficulty, and then I played it and I was like, oh, I'm stupid. This level is very fast, very, very fast. I mean, just premise that. If you like fast-paced levels, please play this. It's very good. This level is mainly resolving, it's just mainly resolving around, I want to say, like, ball. I see a lot of ball and UFO in this level. So, that's very good, because not a lot of extremes focus on that too much, and the ball and UFO parts are the hardest parts of the level. The ending is not too bad, it's not chokeable, it is chokeable, but not, like, as much as, like, the ball part before it is. But I definitely would recommend this level just because of how fast-paced and thrilling it can be. One of the oldest extremes I've beaten. And I really, really like it. I don't think it's, like, amazing. I don't think it's like, oh my gosh, this is the best extreme demon. No. But I do think it's very, very good for beginners. If you are a aspiring extreme demon grinder, you're gonna want to play this. The thing about Crowd Control is that it's super, super consistent. I honestly think this level is a lot harder than a lot of people do, but I don't know. I think this level's just such a perfect level. Even as a hardest, this level's so good. The end ship, though, right before the last click, is very hard. So over-practice that. And the first wave, do not let that scare you, because it's very consistent, and the click pattern will stay in your brain for years to come. My first 9-star was Extreme Demon. I hated going from 0 so much to when playing this level, which sucks, because learning it was so fun. The atmosphere of this level has so much feelings of despair radiating off of it, which is such a vibe, especially when you're going from 0. However, doing some of the fast mini-waves at 70% throw it off for me. Definitely do this though, it is really worth it. Doing Bloodbath, even now, still has the aura it had 10 years ago. Doing it as a hardest is one of the safest, yet one of the best hardest you can do in that range. Bloodbath is just such a good skill-based level that prepares you for levels like Blade of Justice, Athanatos, etc. Do definitely do this as a hardest because it provides such a big skill boost, especially for those harder extremes that you will need it for. Chroma Finale will always hold such an awful experience over my head, but probably one of the best feelings of relief I've ever had. This level has one of my favorite songs in any of Extreme Demons I've completed, and also the final level in the Chroma trilogy, which I've always really cherished. I would say go for this, but the 94% pink orb is impossible. Dying to it twice from 0, and then also dying to the ending once not even at the pink orb, it just threw everything out the window when going for this. But it is definitely worth it to finish up the series. Truly a hidden gem when it comes to atmospheric levels. This level is so epic the whole way through that I just can't not love it. I beat this because my friend Lightbulb, who just beat Oblivion at the time, told me to beat this because it used the same song. I am very happy I did, because it is a very underrated and very good level. Thanatophobia without the bugs. The only reason this level isn't higher on this list is because of the pre-drop, taking 8 light years to get through. The atmosphere is definitely one of the best in terms of extremes I've completed, and the song matches up with the decoration style very well. Give it a shot if you like long levels, but please, just over-practice the ending, because it can be very chokeable if you're not consistent with it. I know this level is well loved by the community. Gizbro's gameplay flows really, really well with the levels in this difficulty range, but I never really found this level that special. I do think it is good, and I do think it is worth doing as a hardest or a second hardest, but I just don't think it's as special as people say it is, especially I've watched highlights videos of this, and people just say this is one of the best extremes they've completed, and I've never really agreed with that. In my opinion, Chromatic Haze is better, and you should just play that instead. This is another one of the funniest extremes I've completed, but it flows really well for some reason. The gameplay, while being admittedly pretty hard, is just, the level is so short to the point where I think this is actually easier than Bloodbath. The ship parts, while being a little stupid at times, and the boss fight wave can kill you a lot of times, but I will say over practice the boss just enough to where you can still practice everything else and still be consistent with it. At the time, this was my biggest 96 or 90+% run in a day. I got 90, I think 94 on this day one, and this was also the moment where I was like, huh, I can do timing levels. At the time, this was my only timing-based extreme, and I plan to do a lot more, even though timings are my worst skill set by far. This level is not only timings though, there are a lot of wave parts and ship parts throughout this level that flow really well. I actually do recommend this level super early because it can get you really good at those types of levels. This level is just entirely click sync, and it actually does it, dude, it actually does it really well. I never thought that we needed a click sync level with the Explore the Core song, but we apparently we did. I will say though, probably give this level a better name than Ouroboros Start Pause 2, but hey, that's just my opinion. This level is just crowd control, but that little bit better. It flows better. I mean, in my opinion, the wave parts are harder, and some of the gameplay is really hard. Like, in my opinion, this should just be raised like 30 spots, or maybe more. I would definitely say go for this. Maybe like right after crowd control, because the similarities are good and you will beat it very fast, even coming off crowd control. The end ship is easily the hardest part, in my opinion. I don't know how I fluked that. So, the thing with this level is it was an Insane Demon for a good amount of time, and that can turn a lot of people off like, oh yeah, this is still Insane Demon. I don't think this is Insane Demon. I think it's hard. I do think it's harder than like Precipitance, but I think it is easier than Accio in my opinion. This level has a lot of really tight timings and a really tight ship parts. The ship parts in this level, be warned, they are very chokeable, especially some of them in the ending. But the main thing about this level is it's just a really chill timing extreme, and honestly, if you're at the beginner level of Extreme Demons, try this one out because you will get better at timings if you play it. So, before playing this, I was never really a fan of Zephyrox's gameplay. I mean, to be fair, the most I've ever done is do a practice run of Solarian, but that's another day. This level is a huge breath of fresh air. It is really good. It's not better than Macabre, but it is still really good. Again, if you're into beginner extremes, give this one a shot. That wave at 60, it is really intimidating, but it's not that bad. It's pretty consistent. I would honestly say that the Q part or the ship part before is harder. That's just my opinion though. But I will say this level is very, very worth it. Now, this might shock a couple people, but I do think Kingslayer is better. The only reason why is because some of the gameplay in Electric Forest doesn't function as intended. There is a bug in the main level, and I did beat this in Start Pause, but it is possible to get around, but it only works like 20% of the time, and it's at like 50%. There are a lot of choke points, especially with ship parts in this level. There's a lot of choke points with wave in this level, but mostly ship. I would say the hardest part is ship. Timings as well are implemented, but like, honestly, the reason this level is this low, the balancing is better. I'll give it that. The balancing is definitely better. But, I mean, it's still a good level, don't get me wrong. But getting to the red part is so much harder than getting to it in Kingslayer. I don't know, that's just me. My 100th Extreme Demon. And honestly, this was such a good one to do. Now, the only problem is that I got insanely unlucky. I got to the drop pretty consistently. The pre-drop does get consistent. Like that freaking ship part in the pre-drop, it's so hard, but it gets consistent. The only parts is just some clicks scattered through the drop that are so chokeable. The main thing about this level, obviously, it's a Ren level, and as well known among my friend group, I am Ren 241 carried. Please go for this, though. This is such a good level to have completed because it's so skill-based and so fun. 2 Ren levels back to back. A common theme with this is you're going to notice I'm going to have Ren levels pretty high. But, I mean, this level was a pretty good experience. I mean, I did get unlucky on it, but not too unlucky. I beat it in a pretty low amount of attempts. And this was the second hardest at one point. And honestly, I think it was a really good second hardest to have. It made me better at Wave. I'm not great at Wave now, but made me better at the time. And yeah, it was also Extreme Demon Alphabet, like letter C. It was my hardest one for the alphabet at the time, which felt really good to do, because after beating Ethereal Artifice, I never thought I'd be able to pull something like even remotely close to its difficulty ever. But doing that, I will say just go for Ren 241 levels. They're really worth it, and they're very skill-based. Now, this one might surprise a few of you. I am timing crippled. I am so bad at timings. So having one this high is probably a shocker, and especially to people who know like how much like what I think of Acropolix, they'll know that, oh, maybe he hates Acrosis. I really like this level. This level was a really good like breath of fresh air, and also I did it right after beating Escape Room, so beating a easy tier right after an Inarexible, it felt good. But early on, if you want to get better at timings, this is a good level. Do not do Acropolix, do this one first. It's just so good. It's honestly fun. It's very slow, but it's very fun. Be warned of the last clicks before the wave. They are really hard for no reason. We're sort of transitioning. I mean, we kind of did, 10 extremes ago, but we're sort of in the section now where every level rating is a 7 or higher. Every enjoyment, 7 or higher. This level, I'm going to keep saying it, if you are at the beginner level of extremes and you want to get fast CPS levels, do this level. This level is so good. It's just really good for fast-paced clicks. It's almost click sync. It does want to be click sync, but it falls a little short on that. There is a bug with a portal and an orb with a ball transition at 50, so be warned of that. I just clicked it as soon as I hit it, and it worked fine, but yeah, this level's very good, so please do this if you are at the beginner level and you want to do high CPS extremes. I think Carcano is not well received. I mean, at least not in my friend group anyway. Nobody likes Carcano except for me and one other person. But I found it really fun. It was my hardest extreme that I had completed in a single day for a bit. But yeah, this level is really good. The timings in this level flow really well. Honestly, everything flows. I've always been a fan of these corridor type levels, especially with Oblivion and stuff like that. But I don't know, this level just feels really good. I mean, I feel like doing it as a hardest would even feel just really good to do. Obviously, do it after Bloodbath, because Bloodbath is a peak hardest in that range. But still, give this level a shot. It's really good. Yep, everyone knows that Niwa is going to be pretty high. Niwa is just one of those levels where you can't hate it. It's just really, really good. It flows super well with the music, the clicks. They are a little off the music. They're not entirely click sync. And there's another certain easy Retta extreme that I think is a lot better, and that's a lot higher on this list. You'll see it later. I guarantee you everyone who's watching this knows what it is by now. But yeah, this level flows just super well with the music. It's really fun. It's just a really good extreme demon. And honestly, I feel like doing this as a first extreme would have a lot of aura induced with it. So maybe give it a shot. Now, the thing about Broken Signal is I had been dragging it for several months. I got 50 on it and learned the entire level and just kept coming back to it sporadically, getting a little bit of a new best, sometimes not even. And I had 88 for the longest time until one day I was like, you know what if I finish this? And then I finished it. Even with that experience, I do think it's a really fun level. It flows really well. And honestly, the decoration isn't even that eye damaging. To me, I was playing it and I was like, huh, this doesn't hurt my eyes. This is really good. So yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about Broken Signal that hasn't been said already, so. This is my probably second biggest fluke on an Extreme Demon in terms of percentage. And I, kind of accidentally fluked this when one of my friends was going for it, and I'm utterly apologetic. Xeno! Yeah, this level has really good. This level's duel at 60% works really well. There's no bugs, there's no bad clicks. It all just flows super well. And the ending is how you do a stressful ending. This isn't the most stressful ending on my list though. There's one that is a lot more stressful. But it's still really good. And if you know me well, and if you watch the video, you'll know that this is the level where when I was at the ending, when I was on the fluke, I got pinged several different times, probably like 11 different times. Hey, you know who you are. So, the thing with Vein Step is it's really fun, it's really good, every part, and there's nothing wrong with the drop. And then you get to the ending, and you figure out that the ending of Vein Step is quite possibly one of the worst endings you could ever make. There is some dumbass timing. It's genuinely harder than every single click in the level. But that's just the ending. The drop is really fun. Wave parts are really satisfying to do. Everything's just really satisfying. Vein Step's just one of those red levels where it's like, top 10 satisfying levels. But, I don't know. And it was also my letter V extreme for the Extreme Demon Alphabet. But to be fair, what else was I going to do? Velovi. I don't understand why my friends just don't like this level. It's such a fun level. I get that the duel is like a bit dysfunctional, especially with the ball, but that can honestly just be acquainted to just Rob Top not knowing how to make slopes work. The duel in RGB is just really, really gimmicky, and that's it. To be fair, it's a sleigh level. But also, the wave parts are probably harder than everything else. I mean, I didn't find them, I honestly found the UFO parts to be the hardest parts. Because the clicks, you have to click, like, on a slope. It's not buggy, per se, but the clicks are still just really hard, because they, like, force you down. I don't know. It's just one of those levels where I do definitely recommend it, but play it with caution, for sure. Out of the 5 Terraria, Calamity, Mod, Extreme Demons, this one is the second best. Not to say it's bad at all. Hence, you know, why it's so high. This level is really, really fun. I almost beat it as a hardest with my left hand because my right hand was out of commission. But honestly, I'm glad, a part of me is glad that I didn't, but I really, really wish I did. Ithacropolis is so bad. But the gameplay is really fun. You'd honestly think a level with a VIT-12 part could be bad. Like, that part's gonna be bad. But VIT-12 actually made a part that's not bad, and I'm really proud of him. Good job, VIT-12. Extreme Demon Alphabet, letter F. And honestly, this is the best level I could have done for it. It is so fun. The way it's my first Leave Extreme, and you know, you may know him from the Atomic Cannon series, but this level, I'm pretty sure this was his first level, and he started his creator years off with a banger. This level is really good for no reason at all. I thought that this level was gonna be like, oh my god, the wave parts are impossible. Everything's impossible. I can't do it. But no, it's not. It's really consistent. I almost fluked it from like 43. But no, definitely play this. It's a must play. Now, I have a friend who absolutely despises this level, and I'm sorry that I put it this high, but I just really, really like it. It does atmosphere really well, the gameplay is really good, there's nothing really stupid about it. You could say the transition at like 60 into the ship part is a little stupid, but it just syncs with the music so well that it's not even that bad. The wave parts, I can admit, is harder than everything else, but other than that, it's a good level. This might actually be one of the best beginner extremes in the entire game. It is so fun, flows so well. The parts are they're just so satisfying to do. The decoration, that being a little eye melting, is not even that bad. That wave part with the, at like 60 for 50%, I think it is, it's really fun and it's not even that bad. I honestly find the UFO after it to be harder. The ending can be a little gimmicky, and with the blocks moving and stuff, it could, you know, trip you up a little bit, and especially with like, the last click's not hard, but the 2 green orbs before it are a little difficult. But honestly, give this level a try. It is so fun. This level aged like fine frickin' wine. It is so good. The duel at 50% is not buggy. It is so consistent, and I'm so happy that it was. I swear to God, every single duel, it's like hard to make a not consistent duel. Once you know how to play the duel, you'll just do it every single attempt. The UFO after it, like the slow one, obviously it's not great, but you get there enough times where it's like, well, it's not that bad. I didn't die to the stupid ship at the ending, which I'm really surprised about, but I did happen to die at 95 somehow. I don't even know how I did that, and I did that in a public like DLPS call, and I was embarrassed for the rest of the year. But you know what? It's a really good level, and it's worth a shot. My mood has completely changed on Deflective. I think it's the best of the series. Inflective it's so bad, it sucks. And then Reflective is it's kind of there. The gameplay isn't bad, admittedly, but Deflective is just better. Now, there is that intimidating ass wave at like 13, but it's really consistent. It might not look it, but it is really consistent. I can still do it after almost a full year since I've beaten it. It is, I will say, the wave parts in the drop are a little hard, and the ending might have some, like, messed up orb priority, but honestly, it's all worth it because the level is just really, really good. Easily my favorite 2-player extreme, and it's honestly just, it's just such a good level. The atmosphere the whole way through is really good. I feel like doing it solo would be a bit cancerous, but I didn't. I beat it with Mr. Graves. Yes. The ending when the duels sync up and they're right next to each other, that can be tricky if you haven't done stuff like that before with someone, but it's honestly, it's all worth it. The last ship part with 2.2 ship physics, it's a lot harder than everything else, but it's honestly pretty consistent, and if you can get it consistent enough times, you and whoever you beat it with, or if you want to do it solo, it'll beat it quick. This was formerly my hardest extreme completed in a day, and it's really good. I do think it is a really good take on crowd control. I'm pretty sure it's inspired off crowd control, or it's based off crowd control, something like that. The wave part at 30 though, or 20, whatever it is, oh my god, it is so hard. It's really awkward because you have to hold in like a weird click pattern, but it still works enough of the time. But it is definitely worth it to beat it. It gets you really good at wave and ship, especially nerve control, because the ship parts are slow, and for some reason that's just more stressful. And also, it is impossible to die to the last click. Like, try, I dare you. Both of them right back to back. I do think mind control is better, but my experience tainted it just a little bit. The wave part, it looks really, really hard, but it's really, really consistent. Honestly, everything after 50 is what I find to be the most difficult. The ship part with the orbs, that ship swoop with the orbs, is just really, really hard. There's 3 orbs that are just impossible, and then the rest of the ending, after that, it cools down, and then you get to the last, the last ship, which isn't actually that bad in runs, but from 0, your nerves are likely going to be, like, really, really high, and you'll mess up. Now, literally everyone I know who have beaten this has fluked the last ship, and I wish I did, but I didn't. But it's still really good. For a level that doesn't go above 2 times speed, it is really, really fun. Now, I'm not accustomed to timing extremes because, well, you know, I kind of suck at them. But this one was really good. Now, the neon atmosphere that this level gives off, it'll never be as good as Knight Rider, but it is just really good. Something to note is I take atmosphere really seriously in levels. Like, I look at it a lot more than, like, not the gameplay, obviously, but, like, the decoration. Those go hand in hand, and as the song, those all go hand in hand. It's important for me to like a level or not, which I know is not, like, standard at all, but it's still good. And if you do want to get better at timings, give this a shot. It's so worth it. My friends constantly tormented me to beat this. Every time I asked, hey guys, what extreme should I be? It was always like, clarity, 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 clarity. And then one day I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna try clarity. And I'm glad I did. The duel at the end, I don't think it's flukable, because once you get there from 0, you're like, wait, how do I do it again? And then you click, like, too late or something. But it is definitely good. The raw gameplay itself isn't that bad. Like, isn't that hard, I mean? But it's just, with how learny it is, it's still like it's difficult extreme. Now, do I think this is harder than Cataclysm? Yes. I think it's that little bit harder than Cataclysm, but just a bit. But, yeah, if you want to get better at duels, and you're in the beginner stage, definitely give this level a shot. Now, after one of my friends beat this as his hardest, I was like, oh, this level looks really cool, maybe I'll try it one day. And then I rolled it on a wheel and was like, huh, what better way to try than now? This level was definitely worth it. Duels are just executed so well in this level, and especially with just, like, half the level being a duel, it's just really, really fun, and it gets you really familiar with duels. Honestly, beating this after Bloodbath gave leeway into a lot more duel heavy extremes that might be out of your skill range, but if you learn them, the duels will become a lot more consistent because you played this level and other levels like Clarity, perchance. But I don't know, definitely give it a shot. Now, out of the 2 9 Circles extremes I've beaten, one is all the way back there, one is right now. bet you can't guess which one I like more. This is made by one of my favorite, if not my favorite creator, Filk, and I think this level is just so good. I do think Axiom Asterism is better, but this level is still really good. The only complaint I have about this level is the wave spam right before the ending, and then just the ending itself. The first click, honestly, it's like, it's not as bad as, like, you know, Koareta, where it's, like, really inconsistent, because it's really consistent. The first click, you can do it, like, 5 times in a row, and, like, yeah. The memory as well is also really consistent. Getting to the drop just comes easy. If you can just do drop to 100 early, you'll beat this in, like, no time. One of the most fun beginner extremes. Actually, I think this is easy tier. Wait, I'm lying. But yeah, again, if you want to get better at duels, play this level. There's one duel part that is asymmetrical, and it is really, really fun. I will say the ending is chokeable if you don't practice it well enough, and even if you do practice it enough, you can still mess it up, because there are admittedly a couple stupid clicks, but I don't know, I don't know, I just had a lot of fun with this level. This level was the precursor to one of the most legendary moments in a VC I've ever had, if you know, you know. But yeah, if you're in that stage, try this level. It's very, very good. One of my most recent Extreme Demons. And when I saw my friend beat this as a hardest, I was like, this is literally harder than Bloodbath. Like, what are we talking about? After beating it now, I know it's not, obviously. But it is, I still think this level should be hard tier. I don't know why this is medium tier. The wave parts in this level look a lot harder than they actually are. You just kind of gotta click to the music. But for a learning extreme, it does that really well. And the decoration is just stellar. It's so good. The song, well, admittedly, I've never really liked this song that much. It is still, like, really good. Something to note is over-practice that one ship part at, say, what is it, 70%? Because it can be chokeable. I did die there from 0, but just if you over-practice that enough, fluking the ending will come easy. I know this level's fallen from grace, but honestly, the bugs at 50%, I realized and I was like, I gotta lower it, man. It's not, I mean, it's still as fun as I said it was, but it's just, I feel like I was glazing it a little too much. Koozeretta will always be one of, like, my favorite extremes I've beaten, solely because it was a second hardest, and I never thought I'd be able to do any of the Red Eye levels, even, like, the easy ones, to be honest. The wave parts in Koozeretta do, like, they are harder than the rest of the level, and dying at the last click definitely tainted my experience a little bit, especially with my friend. You will never let me live that down! But yeah, it's a good level. This is the best beginner, second best beginner extreme out there. Voided is so good! It's just such a fun level, it flows super well, the duel is so consistent, everything is so consistent. The only thing is over-practice the ending, because some clicks in the ending are definitely harder than some of the clicks in, you know, the rest of the level, and there's a couple clicks in the right at the start of the drop that's harder than the rest of the level, but other than that, I'd say this level's perfectly balanced. It's just such a well-rounded Extreme Demon that I can't think of it as any lower than I have it right now. Now, this level, dude, oh my god. This is one of my favorite songs in an Extreme Demon, I think, that anything uses. The only reason it's not higher is because of how unbalanced it is. There are some clicks in the red part that is literally, it would probably, those clicks alone would belong in, like, a level that's like maybe Blade of Justice or Hot Rod difficulty, but it's still a really good level. Also, why the hell is this medium tier? Raise this to hard tier immediately. This level is so hard. But yeah, probably why I like this level so much is that getting to the red part, you could probably get there like 10 times in a row from 0. It is so consistent. Every part is it's the right difficulty to where it gets really consistent and you get there every attempt. So yeah, please give this level a shot. It is so good. I still never thought I would be able to complete Black Blizzard, but here we are. The duel, for some reason the duel was the thing that scared me the most, and after doing it once, I was like, wait, can I do this? I did 40 to 100 day 1 and thought that I was like the best person ever. That probably will happen to you, but if 40 to 100 is honestly easier than doing 0 to the drop, because of how hard the drop is. Or how hard the pre-drop is, sorry. The pre-drop has some clicks that are just so much harder, but for some reason, that never let me hate this level. This level is just such a fun extreme, and will always be my favorite Chromal extreme. Sue me. My current hardest demon, and honestly, it's just such a good level. Now, when I was talking about unbalanced levels, this takes it up to the max. Dude, I have the hardest part on my demon list right now is 0 to 55 because of how unbalanced this level is. But it's just so good. The atmosphere is so good, and I really like Amplitron's gameplay, and I like his style and type of stuff. The wave parts are, admittedly, harder than everything else. But then again, it's top 120, so obviously the wave parts are going to be harder than everything else. Look out for the new hardest because I got one planned, and I think I'm going to beat it soon. When I was talking about the Retta level that's better than Niwa, that's still in the beginner tier, and this I think is the best beginner tier extreme. This level flows so well. There is one click, literally one click that I don't like in this level. Everything else is good. The 50% part, with the vines in the background of the moon, like how every level has that part is a little learnier than everything else, but it's still really good. Once you pass the 67 wave, you'll beat the level because of how easy the ending is. It's just really good. Honestly, doing this as a first extreme is just really good. And I hate it when people call this Insane Demon because, like, I can kind of see it, but it's just learny, so I don't know. I can't believe how much better this level is than Prismatic Haze. It flows so much better, it click syncs so much better, the gameplay is so much better. When I went into this thinking the wave parts were going to kick my ass. And they didn't, because they're consistent. I got to the ending probably 3 times in a row. Multiple times. I was on a call where I just didn't have auto deafen on. I got to the ending and I was just talking because of how consistent this level is. If you want to have a consistent extreme, play this. Now, you probably will get unlucky, but that's honestly just because of how hard the ending is. The ending has some really hard clicks in there, so be warned. Now, after beating Ethereal Artifice, I picked up this level, and I got tragically 93% on it after clicking the first of the last 3 yellow orbs too early. And honestly, I'm really thankful I didn't complete it that attempt because I wouldn't have been able to do my Ouroboros. Now, not to say this level isn't good. This level's really good. The only nitpick I have is that the wave parts are just way too hard. The wave parts are so hard in this level, but everything else makes up for it. It's so fun. The song is just so fun as well. Everything about this level is just fun. It's just such a good extreme. Now, I'm gonna private the old ranking video because none of the rankings are gonna make sense. But if you watch that, you would have known Explicit was not top 20. I don't think it was anyway. Now it's up here because I realized how fun this level actually is. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I am Ren carried, but this level is so good. The wave parts in this level, yeah, they're harder than everything else, and there is this one red orb that can kill itself, but everything else is just really good. Now, I will say this one thing about this level. The dash orbs in this level, I mean, the Ren dash orbs, what can I say? But they're just really hard. But it just makes up for such a fun, fast-paced, just really good level. And for anyone who watched that video, you would know that Moment was number 1, and now it's down here, because I was overglazing Moment so much. Moment it's still such a good level, and it flows really well, and the song is so peak. But I had to lower it because I realized some of the extremes I just wasn't looking at well enough. I beat them and was like, yep, that's a good level. But no, this level is still good. Don't get me wrong, this level is still really good. But I feel like it should have been lower. It just should have been lower. But it's still a really good level. Definitely recommend it. If you want to do this as a hardest before Bloodbath, that would honestly be a good idea because it gets you really good at high CPS, and it's all just a perfect level. This is how you do Atmosphere. This song is so good. The deco is so good. The gameplay is so good. The only nitpick I have of this level are the first 8 clicks of the level. Just the slow cube. It makes it a little boring, but it's still so good. The drop is very hard, and you need to practice, like over practice, drop to 100. I am so surprised I didn't die to the waves at 60 once. Those waves are so hard. Be warned of the last click. It can definitely kill you if you have not practiced it enough. We need more victors for this level. This level is so good. Now, I did, have an awful experience with this level because I got really unlucky. For those who don't know, I fluked the hardest part of this level and died to 98 because I went too low in a straight fly. Now, I still will always love this level. And also, this song probably is my second favorite song in any Extreme Demon. This song is so good. Filk always nails the song choices with everything. Like, he knows how to do atmosphere. But yeah, we need more victors of this level. I think I'm like in the first 5, but I don't know. It's just such a good level. Be warned of the wave parts though, they are really hard. This level has fallen from grace too, but it's still really good. This is also such a good level to do with duels, and honestly, in my opinion, this level's harder than Bloodbath. Now, sue me if you want, yell at me if you want, but I genuinely just think this level's harder than Bloodbath. Now, the thing about the duels in this level is those aren't the parts that are bad or dysfunctional or anything. It's the one ship part with the orbs. Though that ship part is the only bad part in the level. Anything else is just really, really good. If you died to that last ship or UFO, I have no words. I'm sorry. This is my second favorite hardest, and honestly, it was such a breath of fresh air after my experiences with Ithacropolis. This level has such good gameplay and such good everything. It's just such a good level. The wave parts aren't even that... Its level's not even that unbalanced. The wave parts are not even that harder than the rest of the level. The only part that I would find to be the hardest part is just the ending, because of how hard some of the clicks are, especially the blue orbs with the blocks. And that's pretty much it. The Platinu wave, I honestly never understood why everyone said it was the hardest part, because I never found it that bad. I don't think I died there from 0. I did pull off a progress fluke from, I think, 30 to 83, and that sucked because I could have just beaten the level. But yeah, please beat this, it's so good. As of now, this is my second hardest and my second list demon. And I got 63% on this, I think a couple months back, and dropped it for some reason. And recently, I came back to it. And I tied my best, I think, 3 times that day and got a new best. And I was like, hold the phone. And then I got 86, which with 2.2% is 91. And the level ends at 92. Now, the thing about this level is, in my opinion, it's harder than Rust, but we'll get into that at a different time. The wave parts are definitely the hardest parts, and the ending is just the true hardest part. There are so many choke points that have to do with that part that it's just... It makes for the ending to just kill you a bunch of times. If you fluke the ending, you're like the Jesus of Geometry Dash. Like, I have no words. This is the best Terraria Calamity Mod Extreme Demon. Oh my god, is it so good. I am really happy that one of my closest friends did this as a hardest, and it's really good. This is how you do a learning extreme. You could say it's memory, but I just wouldn't agree with you. The drop part is honestly one of the most fun parts in any extreme, just because of how chaotic, fast-paced, and just overall fun it is. The boss can get a little RNG, can get a little stupid at times, but it is a randomized boss fight, so that makes sense. Now, I will say, you gotta make sure you practice the boss. I would say over-practice it, because a lot of victors I know have progress fluked from 58. That 1%, and then they got to the boss. Me included. But yeah, do beat this. Especially if you play the Calamity mod. Please beat this. I am so mad that I didn't beat this when it was on the list. I beat this when it was 151, but that was because I went camping for the week it got lowered. And also, I had no business fluking the ending of this level, because the ending is the hardest part. It's so good, especially with the atmosphere. The flashlight part, the red part or whatever, that is honestly probably the best atmosphere in this whole game for an Extreme Demon. But the gameplay is really good. I think this level's hardest part in game mode is just ship. If you're really good at ship, you're gonna beat this in like 2 seconds. But if you're not, then it'll be a little difficult, but you'll power through it eventually. And I know a friend who did this as a hardest, and I'm like, dude, that's like Aura hardest. It's such a good level. I have always idolized this level ever since I watched Doggy Verified. Ever since I saw the verification, I was like, I want to beat this. And initially I was going to do it for the Extreme Demon Alphabet, but I didn't because of the 40 wave. Now, in my eyes, that's a fair reason to not do it, but I should have done it because I didn't realize that the 40 wave actually got consistent. Now, this is probably one of my unluckiest experiences, because I got to the ending so many times. I think I had more ending deaths than wave deaths. It was like not ending as in like the really stressful ending, but just 60 to 100. I got there so many times. And yeah, I don't know. Speaking of that ending, that is how you do a stressful ending. Your nerves will be at like 150. It is so stressful, but it is so good. Now, I know that there are a lot of really good compressed difficulty extremes, but let me tell you, this takes the cake. This is the best compressed difficulty extreme in the game. Honestly, maybe just the best compressed difficulty level ever. This level is so good. I really like how chaotic it is, and how fun it is, and how like well the gameplay flows. There's one click I don't like in this level, and that's this one with a ball transition, but like you're jumping into a ball portal, so obviously it's gonna be a little hard. And I will say though, if you do try to learn this, don't immediately give up when you get to the first start pause, because that's what I did, and I should have just done it, because this level it's just so good. Be warned of the last click. The last click is really hard. I don't know how I fluked it. Yep, for anyone who's talked to me for 2 seconds, you would know this is my favorite Extreme Demon I've completed. I will say though, Devin, I hate your part. I hate it. It's terrible. I'm sorry, I just hate it. And I think a lot of people do. But everything else is it's just so good. I think I'm really happy that I did fluke the boss, but honestly, part of me is sad that I did, because then I would have gotten to play the level more. But honestly, this was my first jump, and honestly, I wouldn't have had it any other way. This level is just such a perfect hardest. But honestly, I think you would probably have the best experience for this as a second hardest, just because you wouldn't feel the pressure to beat it like really quick and just to get it over with, but you would still have a lot of fun. It would still be really stressful. Like that is how you do an XL Extreme Demon. And that's it. That is my first 106 Extreme Demons ranked. Now, I will be posting my spreadsheet so you can take a look at my enjoyment and my just how hard they are, how hard I rank them. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thanks you guys for sticking around to watch the Extreme Demons, happen, like me beat them and stuff. Like I want to thank every one of you who's just been there, because you guys are the goats. So yeah, if you want more videos like this, tell me. I have another video planned. It's going to be a showcase of my entire top 150 hardest demons, so that will include insane demons. So yeah, thanks for watching.